today's John Rogers show...
I feel welcome.
Hey, thank you. On today's John Rogers show, we have the authors of The 10th Life, Mike Titus and Brett Fernau.
No.
All right.
That'll work.
So, it's if you watch the previous episodes, Brett, you'll notice that I mispronounce everyone's name that I have on here.
If you can even remember it.
If I even know it to begin with.
Just don't call me late for dinner. That's all I ask.
All right. So I've talked to Mike about his last book, The Cat in the Hat, and
yeah. No, this one.
The Girl Who Read the Birds.
Right.
Fun. Yeah, I have that one.
Right. Great book. And I read part of it.
Well, that's good. Which page did you read?
I made it to like chapter 2, I think. 3.
There's
4.
no chapters in this thing. The Girl Who Read
Okay.
the Birds.
Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, it's really nice to be interviewed by a fan.
Well, I read part of this book. I read part of this book too. The part where I mentioned in the back here about Mike.
See.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only important part of the book anyway.
Right, it is. I haven't read any of the rest of it, and so I really haven't done any studying. So sell me your book.
Okay, that'll be $10.95.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about it, Brett.
Okay, well, the book is about an old man and 2 cats and their relationship, and the cats actually act as spirit guides to this old man, which that in itself is kind of unusual, although people's cats probably control their behavior a lot more than they think they do. Animals tend to train us to do what they like, and these cats are no exception. And these cats are actually kind of exceptional in that they find ways to communicate with the people that they're involved with and help them. So it's a book about animals helping people rather than the usual people helping animals. So it's kind of a twist.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. That sounds like a book that I might actually read after I finish the other book I started.
You know what? Well, I could come and read it to you.
I haven't read Into the Wild, but I've watched the movie. Have you all thought about putting this to film with
We're very open.
maybe Larry Blamire directing it?
If somebody
I was actually thinking of Spielberg, frankly.
Oh,
If somebody really wanted to option this for a movie, I think both Brett and I would be willing to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We'd be crawling on our hands and knees licking shoes is what we would be doing.
Yeah.
The 10th Life, right now!
Hey!
Oh no!
Leave my cat alone.
Startled the cat.
Sorry.
I'll slap the hell out of you.
Well, I was pointing at the camera. I didn't see the camera.
Who cares about the camera? Leave my cat alone.
Okay, sorry.
God.
All right. So
what else? How are things at the shop today?
I've been recording. I've been recording music all day at the shop and posting on YouTube. So not much going on down there. But
yeah, but at least you're spending your time, kind of usefully. I like that.
No, yeah. Well, let's hear from your side though about the book. How what's your take on it? Is there more you'd like to add on what Brett said?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say a whole lot about it without providing spoilers for people who haven't read it. I mean, there's only so much you can say before you're giving away what really goes on in the book. I'd say it's it's magic realism in a way. It is based on a true story. It's I think it's a very transcendental story.
Sure, I'd agree with that.
Well,
Yeah.
and your characters, the cats, on the cover, I recognize Boca from, just knowing.
Buka, yeah.
Yeah, you. And Brad, I take it this is your little kitty that added me as a Facebook friend on the cover
Yeah,
here?
that's the one.
Yeah. Quint?
That's Quint, the famous Quint now.
Yeah.
I thought that Quint deserved to have his own Facebook account since he's probably better at promoting the book than I am. I actually like his friends better than mine.
No doubt. I actually pronounced Quint's name right, so.
You did, and that was a little practice. It pays off.
I think, because when people ask me what the book is about or to tell them something about the book, this is why I write a little bit of something to put on the back cover of the book to entice someone who might find this in a bookstore or on Amazon to be interested in the story. And so just let me read that. It's very short. Part ghost story, part mystical discourse. The 10th Life is a haunting story of mystery, logic, and magical truth-telling. A transcendent glimpse into the small life of a not-so-simple 87-year-old man who isn't seeking anything in particular at this stage of life, and finds that sometimes the overwhelmingly peculiar arrives without notice, in the shape of house cats.
Hey, I got one of those.
Oh, it's jamming time.
Oh, we're probably not in tune. I was wanting to give a little bit of John Rogers bump there on the
thing. I appreciate
on the reading.
I like that.
Yeah, no doubt. So now I'm part of the book, and I want some royalties.
Yes. How about it? So do we.
You can only divide 0 up so many times.
Exactly. We are now, though. This book is now on Amazon in books. Something like number 155,056 among best-selling books.
All right.
And
That's better than $1 billion.
it was quite over $1 million. So
right.
It's actually doing something.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, I wanted to mention too, Brett, you're from where are you living now? California?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay, so you're from out in L.A. and we're sitting here in Spencer, West Virginia. How is it that you two came together to write a book? I'd like to know that.
I met Michael on Flickr, which is a photograph sharing website, and he was a member of one of the online groups that I was also a member of, and he was posting pictures of his toys, of which he has an extensive collection, or did have. I think they're all in boxes now.
Yeah.
But he was taking pictures of his toys, and I found that amusing. And I was doing much the same thing at the time, because I thought it was funny too. And so we had a connection there, that sort of spirit of playfulness and creativity. And we've been friends since then, and that's been, 5 years ago or more.
Yeah.
And then I just, Mike started becoming more active on Facebook, and we ended up friending each other on Facebook, and he posted a little blurb on Facebook about, hey, I'm writing this book, anybody want to be in it? And I volunteered in it. It just goes to show you never volunteer for anything.
Right, right. You'd be expected to follow through.
And the rest of it is the book, because we both have cats, and he said, well, I have this idea, and I said, I wrote a short story about that, and I sent it to him, and he said, oh yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind, and then, he added his unique writing style to the book, and he actually set the tone for the thing.
Right.
And I thought it was appealing and well done, and we went know, 25 or 30 days on the internet, you know, through email and Skype and, you know, and Facebook and everywhere else, and eventually came up with a book.
And then, of course, I know Julie Miller, she done the cover for this one too, correct?
Yes, and the design, the book design.
And she's also from Flickr as well.
Yeah, she was one of my first Flickr contacts, as a matter of fact.
That's pretty wild. That people can
Yeah,
from all over the world come together and.
Yeah, because she's in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah, and I've never met her in person either, and yet I've
none
known
of us
her
have
and
ever
worked
met
with
in
her.
person, which makes for an interesting tale all of its own. And I actually had some interest from my library across the street in just having me come down and tell people how we wrote the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than anything about the book itself. You know, they don't care about that. They just want to know
I just want to know how it came about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. You know, buy my book and then I'll talk about it. You know.
No doubt. You'd be like, you can go down there and be all like, The 10th Life is a really good book.
There you go.
Why don't you come and take a look?
That's Jimi Hendrix. I recognize that.
Yeah.
That was nice. I like that.
Thank you. That's off the top of my head right there.
Well, you know, you're gifted. There's no question in my mind about it.
Well, fellers, you know, we try to keep it short and sweet here on the John Rogers Show. So, is there anything you'd like to say before we cut off? And go to our next guest, which is probably some crazy person that I pull off the street.
Buy the book, you won't be disappointed, and I do want to say something about the collaboration that Brett and I had, because as he said, it was like a month. It took about a month, I think, 4 weeks or something, of us going back and forth, and a lot of Skyping, and it was so easy to work with Brett. It was a real pleasure, because he and I were on the same wavelength through the whole book, and he could add things that I couldn't, and I could add things that he couldn't, or when I got stuck with something, I'd immediately go to Brett and say, okay, why is this person doing this? And I'd be all nervous, you know, because I wanted to get it written down, and he'd write back and say, well, it's because, you know, and I'm going, yeah, that's right. So we had a great collaboration, and actually we hope to do it again.
Well, I hope that you get to, and I can see where that would be I mean, it is a genius way how you're doing it. I mean, and you both get to work in your free time, you know, when you're not doing any, you know, you're not constricted to a 9-to-5, you know, job set to put this material out. So, you know,
no, it's not, you're not even restricted to location, which is really nice.
Right. Yeah. It was, how much of this book was written in the bathroom? All right. Well, typewriter, you know, you can portable typewriter. Go old school.
Back and see now.
Back and see. All right. Well, thank you guys, Mike. It's been great. Brett,
thank you.
how you doing? Shake my
Pleasure.
hand. Shake my hand, Brett.
You're gonna take us out with the
Wait a minute.
with the ditty there.
Check this out. Brett, I'm crushing your head.
I cannot. I have no idea what you're doing.
I'm crushing Brett's head from the other camera. I'll have to put this in. We'll edit this in. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right. Skype, I'm a fan. And this has been the John Rogers Show. This has been the John Rogers Show. Yeah.
Very nice.
All right.
I'm getting worse on the harmonica.
No doubt. Thank you very much.
Shut up.
Brett, we're going to turn you off now, buddy, and I'm going to go
Thanks,
edit
John.
your video. You take it easy.
All right. Bye.
Talk to you later, Brett.
Very good. All right.
Hey, shut it off.
You have to.